Vietnam is a country that refuses to be defined by a single image. It stretches across more than 1,600 kilometers of coastline, rises into mist-covered mountain ranges, and pulses with the energy of ancient cities that have survived centuries of transformation. Every corner of this Southeast Asian nation tells a different story, and every traveler who arrives leaves carrying memories that feel impossible to fully describe. From the lantern-lit streets of ancient towns to the emerald waters of island archipelagos, Vietnam is a destination that rewards curiosity at every turn. The country's diversity is not just geographical, but deeply cultural, shaped by dozens of ethnic groups, centuries of dynastic rule, and a resilience that has become part of its national identity. Whether you are drawn to history, nature, food, or simply the feeling of being somewhere that feels genuinely alive, Vietnam delivers with a generosity that is hard to match anywhere else in the world. The following 10 destinations represent the very best this remarkable country has to offer, each one a world unto itself, each one capable of changing the way you see travel entirely. Creating streetscapes that feel unlike anywhere else on Earth, it is a place you absorb. Hanoi carries the weight of more than 1,000 years of history in its streets, its architecture, and even in the way its residents move through daily life. The Old Quarter, with its 36 ancient guild streets, is a labyrinth of sensory experiences where the smell of pho drifts from open doorways and the sound of motorbikes creates a rhythm that becomes strangely musical after a while. Hoan Kiem Lake sits at the heart of the city like a mirror reflecting the Ngoc Son Temple, which rises from the water on a small island connected to the shore by a bright red bridge. The Temple of Literature, Vietnam's first university built in 1067, stands as a testament to the country's deep reverence for knowledge and scholarship. Hanoi is also a city of lakes, pagodas, and French colonial architecture that blends seamlessly with traditional Vietnamese design. There are few places on Earth that match the visual drama of Ha Long Bay. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, this extraordinary body of water in the Gulf of Tonkin is home to nearly 2,000 limestone karst islands and islets that rise dramatically from the Emerald Sea. Spending a night or two aboard a traditional junk boat drifting through these formations is one of the most iconic travel experiences in all of Asia. The bay changes personality depending on the light and weather. At dawn, it is wrapped in a soft mist that makes the islands look like they are floating. At midday, the water turns a brilliant jade green. At sunset, the entire landscape is bathed in shades of gold and amber that seem almost too beautiful to be real. Hidden within the karsts are caves of extraordinary scale, including Sung Sot Cave, which translates to Surprise Cave, a name that does not even begin to capture the wonder of its cathedral-like chambers filled with stalactites and stalagmites. Hoi An is the kind of place that makes you want to slow down. This ancient trading port on the central coast of Vietnam has been remarkably preserved, earning its own UNESCO World Heritage designation for its well-maintained architecture that reflects centuries of Japanese, Chinese, and European influence. The Japanese covered bridge, built in the late 16th century, is perhaps the most photographed structure in the city, but the real magic of Hoi An is found in its quieter moments. Walking through the narrow streets at dusk as hundreds of silk lanterns begin to glow in every color imaginable is an experience that stays with you long after you leave. The town is also celebrated for its extraordinary food scene, with dishes like Kao Lao, a noodle dish unique to Hoi An, and white rose dumplings that can only be found here. Every full moon, the town turns off its electric lights and celebrates the Lantern Festival, transforming the streets into something that feels like stepping into another century entirely. Formerly known as Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City is Vietnam's largest and most dynamic urban center. It is a city of contradictions and contrasts, where gleaming skyscrapers tower over French colonial buildings, and where Buddhist temples sit quietly beside rooftop bars buzzing with energy. The War Remnants Museum offers a sobering and deeply moving account of the Vietnam War, presenting history through photographs and artifacts that leave a lasting impression on every visitor. The Cu Chi tunnels, located just outside the city, provide an underground perspective on the ingenuity and determination of the Vietnamese people during the conflict. But Ho Chi Minh City is not defined by its past alone. Its street food culture is legendary, its markets are overwhelming in the best possible way, and its nightlife is among the most vibrant in Southeast Asia. Ben Thanh Market remains one of the city's most beloved landmarks, a place where the commerce and culture of modern Vietnam collide in a glorious, chaotic celebration of everyday life. In the far northwest of Vietnam, close to the border with China, the town of Sapa sits at an elevation of over 1,500 meters above sea level, surrounded by some of the most breathtaking mountain scenery in all of Southeast Asia. The Huanglian Sun mountain range dominates the landscape, with Fansipan, the highest peak in Indochina at 3,143 meters, looming above everything else. Sapa is home to several ethnic minority groups, including the Hmong, Dao, and Tay peoples, whose colorful traditional clothing and rich cultural traditions add a profound human dimension to the natural beauty of the region. Trekking through the terraced rice fields that cascade down the valley slopes is an experience that combines physical challenge with visual reward in equal measure. The fields change color with the seasons, turning a brilliant gold during harvest time in September and October, and a vivid green during the growing season that makes the entire valley look like a living painting. Hue served as the imperial capital of Vietnam under the Nguyen dynasty from 1802 to 1945, and the city still carries that regal energy in its bones. The Imperial Citadel, a massive walled complex on the northern bank of the Perfume River, is the centerpiece of the city's historical identity. Within its walls lie palaces, temples, and gardens that once served the emperors of Vietnam, many of them now partially restored after suffering significant damage during the wars of the 20th century. The royal tombs scattered across the surrounding hills are equally impressive, each one a unique architectural statement reflecting the personality and vision of the emperor who commissioned it. Hue is also celebrated for its cuisine, which is considered by many Vietnamese people to be the most refined and complex in the entire country. The city's royal culinary tradition has produced dishes of extraordinary delicacy and flavor that are simply not found anywhere else in Vietnam. Phu Quoc Island, located in the Gulf of Thailand off the southwestern coast of Vietnam, is the country's largest island and one of its most beautiful. Its beaches, particularly Bai Sao on the southeastern coast, are consistently ranked among the finest in all of Southeast Asia, with powdery white sand and water so clear it seems almost unreal. Da Nang, positioned perfectly between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City on the central coast, offers a compelling combination of urban energy and natural beauty. My K Beach stretches for nearly 10 kilometers along the city's eastern edge, while the Marble Mountains rise dramatically just a short distance away, their caves and pagodas carved directly into the stone. Ninh Binh, often called Ha Long Bay on land, is a landscape of limestone karsts rising from rice paddies and rivers, best explored by rowing boat through the Trang On Grottos, a UNESCO World Heritage Site of haunting beauty. The Mekong Delta, in the far south of Vietnam, is a world defined entirely by water, where life is lived on rivers and canals, floating markets drift with the current each morning, and the extraordinary fertility of the land produces fruits and vegetables in an abundance that seems almost impossible. These four destinations, each entirely different from the others, together complete a portrait of Vietnam that is as rich and layered as the country itself, reminding every traveler that no matter how much time they spend here, there is always something more waiting to be discovered just around the next bend in the river.